Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you very much for your support. It's great to be back here, the Building the Future 2025. Welcome, welcome to everyone. It's a very special year for us as we celebrate 50 years of Microsoft history. And many, many things happened during those 50 years. From the very early days of DOS and BASIC and the early versions of Windows to Office and business applications in the 90s when Microsoft opened an office here in Lisbon, to the internet expansion and newer versions of Windows, their first hardware versions, and Xbox came about. Then the cloud era, the cloud platform came with Office 365 and Azure computing and Dynamics on the cloud. And now we're living this new era, an era of AI. An era that brings immersive experiences and expert assistance. Speaking of expert assistants, I have a good-looking one here, live coming to you today. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm the virtual avatar of Andrés Ordola, the General Manager from Microsoft Portugal. I'm here to assist the real-life Andrés during his presentation at the Building the Future event. I'm thrilled to be live on stage with you all today. A warm hello to everyone.
Well, there you go. Welcome. So how would you summarize for us the last 50 years of Microsoft?
Microsoft's journey began in 1975 with the Altair 8800, the first personal computer. Bill Gates and Paul Allen created a version of BASIC for it. Over 50 years, Microsoft evolved from a computer on every desk and in every home to empowering every person and organization to achieve more, reflecting innovation and inclusivity.
That is really good and really right. I think over the years we've been all about innovation adoption. And many of you are familiar with the innovation adoption concept brought by Everett Rogers in the 60s, already a classic, that talks about how innovators and early adopters come into play with technologies, and then the majorities come into the equation. But as you zoom in, in the 90s, there's this concept of the chasm and crossing the chasm. And so what we learned over the years is that crossing the chasm is not just a function of the technology. It's not a function of that innovation to be able to cross. It's a function of the markets and the states and the countries having the ability to take that innovation and diffuse it through the network of business processes. In other words, take innovation and transform it into business processes and business value. When that doesn't happen, we have what Professor Jeffrey Ding at Stanford calls a diffusion deficit, which in other words is the difference between a country's or a market ability to innovate and the ability they have to put this innovation and transform it into economic output. Let's take a look at the electricity example. In 1878, Edison lit up the first electric bulb. And after that, countries and markets had to get in, understand this technology, introduce it into their productive processes, bring it to the people in the homes and make everybody more productive, increase the GDP per capita. Wherever electricity went for the next 150 years, prosperity followed. But some countries did better than others. Electricity was the same technology, but some countries managed to get this equation right and managed to take full value of this technology. And yet tonight, 200 years later, there will be people that won't have access to it. The Global Innovation Index 2024 ranks countries in terms of their ability to innovate, their ability to diffuse technology. The first index, the Innovation Capacity Index, takes in consideration things like expenditure in R&D, public and private, as well as patents and other academic output from a country. On the other half, the diffusion factor talks about exports of trade, balance of trade between the countries and the innovation that goes out, the business that it creates, the connection between enterprises and academies. And it's interesting to see that some countries seem to have a leveled ranking when it comes to their ability to innovate and to diffuse technology. Most prosperity comes in after every innovation they put in market. Some other countries have an acute sense, an acute ability to innovate, but might not be that great in terms of putting this technology and that innovation to work for their economies. Here in Portugal, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity because the technology is here. The technology is ready to go. We need to work hard to diffuse it faster than other markets, better, get to everyone and make sure everyone takes advantage of this technology. There's been moments in time defined like the great migration or the great leap forward. I humbly believe that this opportunity for us should be and can be known as Portugal's great diffusion as we get into taking advantage of this opportunity. We know it's not going to be easy, but we need to work together. We have a plan, and we're going to be focusing on it in the next years to come. The last 18 years have brought massive increase in capacity in both software and hardware. Our ability to produce multimodal models that accept voice, text, images in both ways. We have content, memory and context that we can transverse through applications and through experiences for our users. And we have an increased set of reasoning and planning. We can make sense of information now about people, processes, locations, put it together, and make predictions about it, and more importantly, start building autonomous agents that are going to take actions on our behalf. As we look into the future, we see a rich mesh of business process, automated business process, or agents that are going to be built on a rich tapestry of interconnected process sitting on top of the technology that we have built over the years. But we need to simplify this for our people. And so we believe that Copilot is the user interface of artificial intelligence, the UI for AI. It starts with the user and the human, with all the ingenuity that brings in. Copilot will make us more productive. It's making us more productive today. My daily tasks, what I do, my reports, understanding information faster, communicating better, is right here and right there for us to help us improve our productivity. We extending this further. We're going to bring Copilot Studio to make sure that we can also collaborate with other people, but with other processes. We bring this forward and all this interconnected collaboration and productivity based on multiple environments. For more advanced and deeper scenarios, we bring our whole stack of technology from the data, the infrastructure, the models, the applications, all fully integrated for us to be able to deliver on those scenarios and those use cases that we need the most to derive economic value. All this integrated in one single continuum, one single governance and security framework, a Copilot control system. Whether you're a user using the technology or making interconnecting business processes or building the future applications, we have a solution and we have a platform for you to operate. We believe then that every user will have a Copilot, and every business process will have an agent that will allow them to communicate with the real world. We introduced Copilot Chat, or Copilot M365 Copilot Chat, as we know it. Copilot Chat allows you to be more productive, process information faster, write and read faster and better, access to information at no cost. Gone are the days where our companies and enterprises, we need to shift into any sort of AI product and we're not unsure about what's going, where is it going. Copilot will be integrated into your security, into your infrastructure, into your governance rules, and it's ready to go and free. We're bringing agents in Microsoft 365, and we can think about them as new coworkers that are going to be interacting with our people, taking process and automating for us. Search for information, look for updates, go find this report. This kind of tasks that require usually manual integration and manual interaction will be done for us automatically, lowering our cognitive load, making us more productive as we get into these new waves of innovation. We're not stopping there. We're bringing third-party agents. Whether you're using SAP or Adobe or any of these super platforms, we will have agents connecting to you, allowing you to do the same type of automation that you do on your own tasks through the business processes. And speaking of reach, our Azure AI Foundry platform has now more than 1,800 models available for you to develop your applications, because we know that the language and the model selection is key to the use case. It's the most important thing. Many customers tell me that technology is not really the problem when it comes to innovation, when it comes to rethinking what we do. Here's a factory in the 1800s, and I'm clicking through fast here. Here's a factory in the 1800s. It's a steam power factory. You can see the power shafts on the roof, bringing the power straight from the engine to the machines. That was efficient and was powerful at the time, but it has a limitation of layout. You need to be as close as a steam engine as you possibly can to get that power. When electricity came, we could just go and do some different things, but applying electricity to this layout will not make any difference. And so the newer factories needed to adapt their layouts, build new manufacturing processes, getting different things sorted for the productivity, real gains of productivity to come to life. And think about what's happening now with the clicker. Think about what's happening now with applications. In about 3 years from now, 3 years, we have 30% of applications will have some form of agentic capabilities. And so we're looking at this steam power factory and saying in 3 years we're going to have electricity here. We need to move. We need to do something. And the good news, though, is that the motion is already starting. Here in Portugal, we have already customers doing great things about AI. But let me just ask my assistant here, what are customers here in Portugal doing with artificial intelligence?
Customers in Portugal are enhancing their operations with artificial intelligence in impressive ways. ADSE improved invoice processing accuracy to 94% using Azure OpenAI. NOS transformed developer culture with GitHub, boosting productivity. Warten optimized store operations with Azure AI, and Hospital Santa Maria saved 40% of healthcare professionals' time with AI clinical reports.
He knows more than me now. But there's many more cases of customers. Last year here, we announced the AI Innovation Factory that Carlos gently referred to this morning. We had more than 200 customers coming and sharing and co-creating with us. Here goes the invitation again. It's open, it's free. Large companies, small companies, come and co-create with us. What we create together is yours, is for you to go back to your processes and reimagine the way you do business. According to the World Trade Organization, in the next 5 years, 8% of jobs will disappear. But also, we know that 14% of jobs will be created. This is extremely interesting as we see some of the jobs that we know disappearing, but another new ones coming into stage. We have already there a 22% or so of churn in terms of professions, in terms of what we do. This is millions of jobs that are going to be created and displaced. But it's interesting so that the part in the middle is changing as well. A doctor 50 years ago is not a doctor today. A stock trader of 50 years ago is not a stock trader today. So these professions, although they are named the same, have changed and will continue to be changing. And it's not surprising to see that the skills that are more prominent, the skills that most people is looking for, are a combination of technology literacy and human creativity. So as we look at this future, This is where we're going to be investing, and we're going to be spending time creating this capacity for the country. Now, the good news is that 75% probably of us here today are using artificial intelligence. And 78% of us, or yours, are actually bringing their own AI to work. I see this as a marvelous opportunity. We have already part of the job done, and we need to continue skilling these people so they can actually get that innovation back into our economic system and create that value that we're looking for. That's why we're going to have this big undertaking. We're going to be enabling, in the next 5 years, 6 million Portuguese for free. I hope you're scanning this now, because you can get started, not this morning, maybe tonight, but you can get started. We have a big, big ambition of enabling 6 million people. We need to do it, and we need to do it at a way that scales for everyone. 98% of our economic tissue, 98% of our companies are SMEs. And we're going to be working really hard to get this technology, to get this innovation to them, to make it easy for them. We are going to be bringing a combination of Copilot chat, as I talked about, and a special pricing, so these companies have access to technology when they need it. But also, we're going to be partnering with Nova, SBE, providing mentorship through them and our AI Innovation Factory, providing business mentorship, helping them move from the way they do business today to newer ways of doing business. Last but not least, our founders application in Microsoft Pulse, also ready to go from this moment. But we're not stopping there. We want to make sure each and every one sees and takes advantage of this. We're announcing AI Global. We're going to go on TV, and we're going to have very short pieces of advice, but not about the theory of AI. It's about how you do the things that you need to do faster and simpler. Your budget, your numbers, your taxes. How can you do them faster and bring value right there? And so, as we take this undertaking, this great opportunity, we have hopefully a very interesting 50 years. It's a long time. But let me ask my assistant one last time. So what's to look forward in this next 50 years?
As the virtual avatar of Andres Ordola, I believe the next 50 years will see artificial intelligence evolve as a key technology impacting all sectors. Success will hinge on skill development, technological accessibility, and responsible AI practices to ensure sustainable benefits for society and the economy. We're just getting started.
Yes, we are. And actually, let's not go that far, 50 years. Tell me, what do we have to look forward today at Building the Future?
As the virtual avatar of Andres Ordola, I'm thrilled about building the future. I'm especially looking forward to hearing insights from incredible speakers like Gary Kasparov, Stephen Attenborough, and Wasim Damgard. Their expertise will inspire us all to embrace technology and innovation in exciting new ways.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Welcome to Building the Future. Have a great day. Obrigado.